Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis IV with me, Alfapiomega, Meiou and Taxes, and Blua. So the campaign against France, Aquitaine, Albret and England is going very well. We are just sieging the last province and I think the time has come to speed it up a bit, because I don't think there is much danger waiting for us anymore. So we have a couple of options here. We can continue and just steal provinces using war dynamism from Montfort, slightly and slowly increasing our size and war score, or we could just peace out with them. There are many options about this though, and I think that war dynamism is not a bad one. We'll see how the last siege goes, and I would like to go and beat Aquitaine. Wow, there's an English... Oh no, there's an English army here, which we could go and attack. Though France is already taking care of that, it seems. So maybe we could just go and siege Bas-Poitou. Or the Morsey. I'm kind of confused why they haven't gained this province though. It was stating that war dynamism would happen, same as for us, and it did not, so I'm a bit confused about that. Okay, that looks a bit like that the French might win, that the English might win here. I'm gonna slow it down so we can see what's going on. Yeah, this is actually a really big battle that the French will likely lose. Yeah, there's reinforcements coming, but they will be late, I think. Especially after this roll. Yeah, this battle has been lost. And we actually took way bigger casualties than they did. And new reinforcements actually came, so that's a bit sad. Oh hey! The province has been gained by France. Awesome! And if we siege this, well, get rid of that bug. If we manage to get Brodega, then we might be able to go and attack this English force and win the battle. Not sure how big of an army we have. What's happening in the world anyway? Oh, okay, the siege has been done. Wow! Okay, it looks like that the Empire of the Romans actually won a war against the Ottomans, and now they're winning a war against Bulgaria. Holy hell, yeah. Okay, so the siege is done. You guys have 2,000 cavalry and there's an Albret force here too. Let's go there and fight. Oh wow, we get 100% war score. Could we just... Wow, we could just annex them downright. After we defeat it. Okay, I thought that the French would... Wow, we might even give France something. Okay, so let's get them these 3 provinces. There's no point in continuing with the war. And let's get 16 gold. Actually, a great deal. So let's do that and be done with this. Okay, so the War of Breton Succession has ended in our utter victory, and I am really surprised by that. I was expecting this to be way, way harder. We have lost 38,000 troops, 38,838 troops to combat, and 35,282 to attrition, while the enemies, who were the attackers, by the way, lost 41,689 troops to combat and 18,960 troops to attrition. So overall, we had, I would say, 5/3. No, that's three halves of what they lost. So we lost half more. So in the end, we demand full annexation of the Monfor, Aquitaine will give course Angtong, Périgord, and Angoumois to France. They will pay us 16 gold, of which we get 7, which will give us a bit of inflation, and we paid quite heavily in diplomatic power. We suffered a lot of aggressive expansion, but gained a lot of prestige. Well, we actually gained only 2.2 out of it all, but it's still good. We're at 18, and we gained 22 power projection, and we returned the one levy that was raised by us to our nobles. So let's see what we have fulfilled. We unified Brittany, which gives us 10 absolutism. Awesome. So that's centralization, right? Yeah, we are now at 41. And the next goal is fortify the border. Broroazon and our capital must both have a modern castle, which is actually what? A level 4. Okay, so that's gonna take a while. I'm not entirely sure when we get that. But okay, that's the next goal. So you guys can stay here. Oh, and we have another mission fulfilled. Stabilize the country? No. Which one? Not strategic marriages. Oh, centralize the state. Okay, we gain 10 legitimacy. And the next one is University of Brittany. Haidenu needs to have a renowned university. Okay, that's going to give us an extra urban gravity. So let's do a little inspection of our land right now. We have grown significantly. So our capital is still Haidenu, none. And that's for a good reason. We got 21 total development there with 257,000 people living there, of which 13,000 live in our capital, and 10,000 is the upper population. Broroazon is a nice little province that we already checked. They're fairly developed, but much less people live here, only 190,000. But the urban population as well is above 10,000, so that's nice. We have a communal hall here, a cathedral, and a workshop. In our capital we have a mine. We mine salt here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we have a workshop, communal hall, and a fishing port. And now the provinces that we gain. Brovened has a fishing port and a workshop as well. 219,000 population lives here, but only 4,000 is urban, but above 13,000 of upper population. That's interesting. Brodeger has 211,000 people. That's nice. Again, a lot of upper population. That's interesting. Saint-Malo is really nice because it has a port, a cathedral, but also, especially the Rance estuary is pretty good. There's another one here, La Blave. So we should work on that. And we have Rade de Brest here, which is really a good one. That's a great modifier. Naval Force Summit increased local ship repair. I guess we're gonna build our main port in here, in Brogenef. It doesn't have anything built. It doesn't have anything built though. Yeah, but over almost 330,000 people live here. So what's our complete or total population? Yeah, it hasn't recalculated, but we had 450,000. I think we're gonna go over 1 million at this point. So this is massive, and we also help France a lot. So our army is at full strength, which is really fun. Oh, actually, we're way above land force limit. How much are we going to pay for that? 1.60 every month. But we can hold it. I think it's gonna increase. Having such a populace, it needs to recalculate. So let's keep the soldiers up for now. Now we have 6 ships. We have 2 light ships, 3 transports, and 1 galley. That is nice. Let's send the warcogs to protect trade in Northwest Atlantic. And I'd actually like to sell the galley to someone who could buy it. Would France be interested in buying a ship? No. There's no use for galleys. What about England? Oh, this bug is bugging me. No. There's no use for galleys. What about Friesland? Too far. Aquitaine? Nope. Okay. Navarre? Nope. No one. What about you? Too far. Too far. Okay, well, we'll keep the galley, but I think I'm gonna get rid of it soon. The spoils of war. We're gonna put 10th to the treasury, which gives us additional 7 gold, and we're gonna get a lot of the court. For the court. Wow, our court is actually doing really shitty. It's dropping. I think we have a really high court level. The court level gives you a lot of bonuses. You can see it here. Impressive court, level 4. Stability increase interval is lowered. Diplomats are increased. We have a boost to morale of armies and navies. Our yearly prestige is increased. We have extra advisors. Diplomatic reputation. Relations are improved. Liberty desire is lowered. And we have an art power increased. But as we have 0 yearly funding, the court is dropping significantly. I could increase the annual funding by, say, 8, and we'll see how that goes. What about education? Okay, education is actually increasing, so let's increase state education by 4. And I think at this point we are gonna fall into a negative, won't we? Yes, okay. We must resist the English, but we do have a bit of a cushion on our income, so I think this is gonna be fine. Now, we have these 2 provinces. Oh, no estate here. But Brorazon has greater nobles. Brovanet has lesser nobles, greater nobles, greater nobles, greater nobles. So only 1 province is lesser nobles. You guys are pretty good. So let's offer you favors. Wow, a gift would be great, but that would get rid of all of our money, but we would have an increased loyalty. What if I asked you instead for a support? Improve serf condition. That will lower national unrest, lower our stability increase interval, and all rural population would growth would be increased by 15%. So I think that's actually what we're gonna go after. Okay, and how are we doing with France? 200. Good. We have an extra diplomat. Can we do something with England? I'd like to be on better terms with them, so let's improve relations with them. And we are improving the relations with the Pope. So what's our standing with the Pope? 18. So not much to do. Okay, let's drop that fort here. We don't really need it. And hey, we're in the positive numbers again. Good, 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 good. 0.66. That's awesome. I think our trade is doing good. Administrative idea. Fortification maintenance. It would be administrative, right? Serfdom does not give us anything interesting at this point, so let's get fortification maintenance. Lowers the fort maintenance by 10%. Maintaining fortification more regularly rather than only repairing them when they fail will lower overall maintenance cost. Fort maintenance lowered by 10%. And we get a bonus Breton idea. The Parliament of Brittany. The Parliament of Brittany was a gathering of clergy, nobles, and city delegates at the court of the Duke of Brittany. Though the Parliament had its roots in the late 13th century, they were first formally convoked at Dinan in 1542 in the midst of the War of the Breton Succession. I think this is probably supposed to be 1342. No, 13... During the reign of Jean V in the early 15th century, the Parliament began to also be known as the Estates of Brittany, but the Parliament of Brittany survived even after Brittany was absorbed into France, continuing on as the part of the French states provincial. National unrest lowered by 2, and hostile court creation lost 25 extra %. Okay, now we're in the negative again. But hey, I'm really happy how this went. Much better than the real world history, where the Blois lost at the Battle of Ora in 1464. So we managed to unify Brittany 4 years in advance and enjoy it. I'm happy. So I'll do a little skip ahead and we'll see what the future brings to us. Apart from having Siberian winds plummeting across Europe, destroying crops, great event, we have just get the communication done for all of our provinces. So that means now we can see our autonomy, which is actually really bad. The autonomy, as you probably know, is calculated by the distance from the capital and actual communication speed. So Brogelnev, being the most distant province, has a rapid communication of 14 days. It's probably via ship, because we really don't have any roads built. Still, autonomy is 60, which is really bad. And we have a lot of issues here, especially the delegated rulers and hereditary elite is screwing us over. I am thinking we might want to switch this to appointed elite, but the problem is we already do have a massive amount of corruption and it's only going to get worse. I have no idea what the fuck is going on with the great nobles, but look at all those privileges they got. That's insane. That is insane, and they will probably request more. They got a huge amount of power everywhere. There's only one province where they actually don't have that much power, and our capital also has no estates, which I think might be a little bug, but I'm not certain. However, the recalculation was successful, and we are now getting quite a lot of money. And yes, the land force limit went up as well. So overall, we now have 1.35 million people living in our capital, and we're well on our way to getting the first stability hit. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is that everything for us is super expensive. It's mostly because of the development level 7, which is called teaming. It gives us a huge boost to morale, global trade power, land force limit, discipline, fort defense, and siege ability. Unfortunately, it also gives an 80% increase to all of the costs that we have. So everything that we will want to build will take forever. And it's super expensive. And remember that I was building this in Sweden for like 80. There's probably more to it than just that one with bonus, but yeah. Okay, Sweden has been reunified, that's good. And Denmark got, I think, extra provinces. That is also decent. How's the war going for the Romans? Are they still at war? No, they actually won against Bulgaria and gained 2 provinces. But now they're at war with... Was that Naples? Yeah, Naples. Well, Naples is probably gonna fuck them up. Siberian winds subside. The unusually strong Siberian winds eventually faded. Invading armies were more likely to survive the harshness of the region. Okay, and the White Horde is fucking up Kiev today. That's always there. What you gonna do? Mamluks are there. We can see Tlemcen being raided by Tunis. Things are fun. There's still the Grenadian Sultanate. Or Emirate. That's nice. And Scotland is ruling mighty and powerful. Oh, what happened here? I remember that Poland had Louis the Great d'Anjou. Yeah, Poland still doesn't have an heir. How old is this guy? He's 51. He's probably not gonna get another heir. So yeah, we will probably see Poland and Hungary becoming one. That's a sort of a scary idea right there. Okay, money-wise we're doing great. Let's double check the court. Okay, it's still dropping, so I'm gonna increase annual funding by 10. And let's see the education. Education is increasing, so let's just increase it by 1 and leave it at that. So, we're gonna save the money, I think... Oh, I think we're gonna give a magnificent gift to great nobles. Yeah, we've won that 24 stability points. That's a really big boost. Yeah, we're on 125. That means that in 2 years we will be on stability 1. Burghers have nothing. And Russian nobles have also nothing. Why is this? Why is their influence here 0? It's a bit weird. The autonomy is 13. Really? Oh, it's also increasing massively. Man, autonomy is gonna be a bitch. I'm thinking we might want to... Oh, okay. We can't remove our capital, because it's controlled by the estate. And we cannot revoke it. Okay, so that means Nand is our capital forever now. Good. And once again, we do have claims on these 2 provinces. But that's... Yeah, it's a part of France. So the only way how we could get that is take France head on. That's not gonna happen. Wow, I haven't seen this one in a long time. A new plague! There's the plague again! A new sickness has overtaken the people of Halab, killing many and setting the stage for a plague upon the region. For these poor souls, dark days lie ahead. So Halab... It should be somewhere... Oh, here it is. It's in the modern-day Syria. Okay, this doesn't look all that bad. It's a terrible plague. Let's see how fast it's gonna spread. We're actually completely defenseless at this point. I don't think there's any plague measures we could take. Or are there? Nope. Nothing. Is there another center that would happen? Nope. Okay. So let's see how it's gonna spread. In the meantime, we can now invest in a new technology. Handguns. Handguns. Handheld firearms which required a glowing coal to light. Handguns were cumbersome and inaccurate, yet they captured the imagination with their smoke and noise. At this point, an army would only have a handful of handguns. Land morale, though, is increased by 0.25, which is decent. Yeah, okay, it's spreading as a severe plague already, so I don't think it's gonna ever reach us. But we'll see. We're at the very other end of the map. So, well, we'll see. I was wondering what we're gonna build, and actually one thing that is coming to mind is building forts in these two provinces, because they give an urban gravity modifier of 10% and a base urban gravity of 1. They're also very cheap when you look at that. They only cost 80 gold, and we can contribute manpower to the effort, but at this point we really can't. We would have to build it here, right? Well, it's not giving me the option, but 50% was 2,000 people, so we could do it in both provinces in a couple of, well, no, we have 62 extra guys every month, so that's, give or take 4 years, we'll be able to pay for it, and maybe even with the treasury. So that's a good idea. It would boost our local urban gravity by at least 2 here, and here it would be even more. Here it would be more like 3 probably. So is the plague spreading? Yeah, it pretty much stopped, unless it's gonna reach places like Cairo where it's gonna flare up. Yeah, this is gonna be really dangerous. It's not gonna be spreading much faster. Nah, plague is passed over, so that's not happening. We don't have much else to do at this point other than wait for the stability to rise, which is gonna be next year, at which point I'm gonna try to figure out what we can steal from the great nobles. They have a massive amount of things. Frankly, the autonomy is probably not what I'm gonna go after first. I think that the criminal court might be one, or the actual high court tier titles. They got a partial relaxation of levy obligation as well. I'll see what gives the most corruption, and I really think that's most of the time the nobles. Partial criminal court. We'll see. We'll see. They got a lot of power in Brittany, and we'll need to curb that. Because even though that our... Well, no. Autonomy is increasing across the board everywhere. Yeah. But I don't know if our king is the one to actually do all of this. He's a sinner, an architectural visionary. We'll see what trade he's gonna get in a couple of years. Right now we really are in a spot where we just need to lay low, accumulate a bit of money, just, you know, stay under the radar, make sure that the technology and everything will be fine. How are we doing on technology anyway? Where is it? Here. Okay, we're keeping with the flow. 556, France has 555, so we're actually doing good. But yeah, you know, we need to let things happen. The corruption, however, the corruption is the bane of our existence. So, on that note, and with the plague coming, I'll end the episode here, and I'll see you in the next one.